to get ready.
And what does that mean?
No, I just told her, what did I tell you? I didn't really tell you much. I just said we're going to do a podcast with Brad, and it's not edited. And
Make sure you use the coaster.
Make sure you use the coaster.
Yeah.
And just be yourself.
Did you actually have your espresso already?
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Just like that.
She doesn't mess around.
Business only.
I like it. Can you hear that fan? Or is that just me?
Like the...
Yeah. A little bit.
It's not...
Inability.
Yeah, it's not like it's loud, but it's in the background.
And we're all warm enough, right?
Yeah, I'm good.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. Better warm than cold.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd always rather be, personally, I always say I'd rather be too hot than too cold.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Because cold's not functional, whereas hot, I think, is.
Yeah.
Like you can't, it's like, say, for example, Montreal, winter in Montreal.
Yeah.
It's not very functional. You can't do many things.
No.
It's too cold. Whereas if it's too hot, you jump in the water
Yeah.
or drink a cold beer
Yeah.
or something to bring
It's easier to cool off than to warm up.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Fact.
I think.
We'll just say it's fact. We'll just say it's fact here.
Are we recording this? Because this
Is it. We're recording.
There we go.
We
There
are
we
off. Welcome to the show, Edie Steensma. And for the second time, welcome back.
Yeah.
Gianmarco Colannino. Welcome back for round
I don't
two.
know why you did it, but sure.
Did you?
No, I'm kidding.
What was your what was it like listening to? Did you listen to?
I did. It took me 2 times. The first time I heard my voice, and I was like, "Man, no."
That's not how I sound.
I know. I couldn't get used to hearing myself, and
Right.
then I just listened to it. Went for a walk with the dog, and it was nice. It was good.
And Edie, you listened to it?
Oh, yeah. I thought it was great.
Yeah?
Yeah.
What did you like about it?
I like that he sounded 100% like himself. Like, it was pretty
Yeah.
pretty honest, I feel like.
Yeah.
Like, you're listening to it, you're like, what? It's
This
like, I
time-
could see, like, how some people might find it shocking, but it was, like, very normal for, like, that's how he talks every day about
Right.
what you think you should do.
I think that's my goal too. I don't know if I said this to you. I like to say it to most of my guests, and perhaps I did, but it's my goal to, I feel like hosting this show, it's my goal to make my guests feel super comfortable first and foremost, so they can be themselves. But my hopes are that you, 2 minutes into this, you don't even realize that you have headphones on or a mic in front of your face.
No, you made me feel really comfortable.
Sweet. Well, that's because I
Yeah.
gave you a massage first.
Yeah, that was not included.
What? I didn't get a massage first.
No, Edie, you don't get a massage.
No, that was just for the back room.
That was
Yeah.
We were in another room. It was
Yeah.
a smaller room.
That's
Yeah.
2019.
It was more
That was
intimate.
a champagne room.
That was
Yeah.
a champagne. That was the deluxe version.
I was really interested to get you both on for many reasons. One, because I just love to pick your brain about where you come from and why you've chosen this path for yourself right here, right now, today, being in this industry. But I also thought it was so unique looking at what Trans Am is as a business, as a functioning restaurant, and how it's so different from majority of the businesses in this city, say in this country, maybe in this world, where the team is so small and so intimate, but you guys every single night make it happen. So I don't know if I asked you this last time, and I'll call you Jay for this one, but I'm always intrigued by how people recharge, especially in this industry. And I think it's lost on so many people, being our consumers, people that are going out and dining, whether it be on a Friday night or a Thursday night or a Monday night. They don't fully understand, I don't think, what it takes to do what you guys do and others like you in this industry, night after night after night, like 6 nights in a row, every single night, or 7 nights in a row. I know you were mentioning last time you were on, you guys had been together for X number of days, and you're like, okay,
41,
time.
41 days?
We've gotten better at that.
Right. So you're like, just like, time out. We need a break from each other.
Yeah.
So that in itself could be something that you guys use to re-energize yourself, is space from each other to kind of refresh. But individually, what are you doing to ensure more longevity for yourselves in this industry as business operators in hospitality? How do you go away from what you do, re-energize, and come back and do it again? Edie, we'll start with you.
Do you mean like day after day, or?
Sure, maybe day after day, maybe something small you do, or something maybe
Yeah.
even very conscious that you do, where you're like, okay, I need to do that, whether it's go for a run or listen to a certain podcast or read a book or go look at some art or whatever, or do like a juice cleanse, whatever it is.
Yeah.
Like, is there one thing that you have through your years in this space kind of depended on? Is like, this is my go-to. I know it's going to allow me to come back in and perform at the level I need to perform at or want to perform at.
I think it's definitely the like separating yourself from it a little bit, because it's very easy. It's like, it's a romantic job. It's a romantic place. You spend your late nights and you drink and you hang out and you're close friends, and like, so you have to like separate yourself from it, because it's very easy to throw yourself in. Most people that work there or in the restaurant industry love it, and you would give anything for it. So I think it's important to like take time to separate yourself from it in a way. Like, I go for runs or I have coffee by myself, go for lunch with somebody who's like not in the industry on like their normal lunch break.
You have friends like that?
Yeah, I do somehow. Like servers and stuff even too that work at different restaurants.
Yeah, exactly.
I don't just like go see somebody else and like get yourself out of it so you can go back into it in a way, because otherwise but years before, just throw yourself in 100%, and like every waking moment is the restaurant you work in. And then you come out 6 months and you're like, I don't even know what I like anymore. I don't even know that there's a different world out there.
Right.
So now it's like with Trans Am, it's nice. Like, I don't start work till 4. So I have like a whole day basically to go do something else and appreciate the world we live in.
Outside of those
outside of the
walls.
restaurant you work in.
Right.
Which it took me like 8 years to figure that out, that there's more than the place you work at.
Right. And you think that was out of necessity, or was that just you?
Oh, necessity for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it wasn't like you became more aware of like, whoa, pump the brakes. It isn't sustainable for me to be living, breathing, that it was different, or was it that? Was it like you looked in the mirror, you're like, whoa, I need to take a step back?
Well, the job I had before was very full throttle. Like we're all there, like lived and died by it. Like day after day, 24 hours, you're always on.
Right. And
then I kind of left that, and then I like reset. I took some time off, and then I found Trans Am, and it was lovely. And I got this like newfound 3 hours a day that I was like, whoa, I'm rich in time now.
Right.
What do I do with myself? And then you find other things you like instead of work.
For you, Jay, before we get into what you would use to re-energize, was that something conscious that you had decided, meaning building this model around something that was, team comes in at 4, we open at X time, we close at X time, it's an evening spot only. We're not going to be making people work 16-hour days, 18-hour days. It's just not what I want to provide as far as a working space. Or was it different than that? Like, was it conscious or not?
I don't think it was conscious, no. We have a simple menu. We do a couple things and we do them well. We don't need much time to prep. Well, when I was just doing the burgers, I didn't need much time to prep. So when Edie came in and took over on the burgers and on the food program, it was like, this is the time you start. This is the time we kind of roll in. This is it's ample enough time to get ready for service, but now that she's included some other dishes, I think you lied a bit. I think you come in at 3.
But I can come in early if I want to. Like,
right.
If I wake up and I feel like, oh, I really want to cook this dish today.
Right.
I'm happy to go in at 1. And I'll go in, put on podcasts, buy the ingredients, cook by myself for a couple hours. And it's like, you make this dish. But if I'm not feeling it that day, it's not like,
right.
You don't have to, but I can still come in and like, probably 3 days a week I come in early.
So it's kind of at your decision, basically.
Yeah.
You're deciding if you want to feel a little bit rushed, you come in a little bit later. But if you want to kind of chill and kind of make it your own pace, you come in at 3.
Yeah, like Tuesdays I'm always there by 2, and I like love it and like clean it and buy things and get inspired. And then
that's awesome. Yeah. So sorry for you, re-energizing. I forget if we touched on that last time you were in.
We touched base on it.
Did we? Yeah.
I got in trouble from my mom too.
Oh, thanks. Really? What's your mom's name?
Anna,
come on. Give him a break.
Right?
Yeah. Driving fast.
Yeah.
Yes.
Jumping off cliff.
What's that?
Jumping off cliffs.
Jumping off cliffs into water. But that was like...
That's safe?
It's safe.
Your mom doesn't want to hear that.
No.
So for those of you that didn't tune in last time, hit pause. Make sure you go download that episode 2 and then cue that up to listen to that after this one for more context on Jay's life. So one of Jay's that he shared was he likes to like get in the car, put on some music and just go drive. Yeah. A little bit faster than the suggested speed limit.
Average speed limit, yeah.
Right.
I think it's a bit safer too.
Yeah?
Yeah, you get to see more. I don't know. No, it's not safer.
No, I
It's
feel like,
definitely
I
not
feel
safer.
like I feel
It's
like
definitely not
I
safer.
just had a flashback to university and my buddies telling me that they drive better when they're drunk. And
That's
just
the dumbest thing in the world.
Yeah,
No.
I know. You
No.
definitely don't drive.
No.
If you're out there, you don't. Please don't drive drunk.
Never.
Ever.
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 Yeah.
But if you're gonna drive fast, do it with Jay.
Yeah. Well, do it in the passenger seat. I won't be in the passenger seat.
No.
No way in hell.
After having come on the podcast and had a question like that, did you step away and go, "Oh, I wish I would have said that"? Because I've had a lot of people I've come on that have become friends and
You
we've
know-
re-engaged afterwards. And they're like, "Damn, I wish I would have said that."
Yeah. I wish I would have said a lot of things.
Okay, well,
But
we're
you know
here.
what? This is the beauty of how you do it. It's just raw. It's natural.
Right.
It's also like, I mean, you don't second guess you don't second guess your decisions, but
No.
you asked me a question, I answered it, and
Yeah.
that's what they got.
I already regret what I said.
Do you? Well, you can erase it if you want.
You can't erase it, but you can.
You can re-up on it.
No.
No.
Oh, okay.
So, fill the listeners in a bit on your history and, like I said, how we ended up here today with you talking about working at Trans Am, being in this industry, why hospitality, why this space, why do you find yourself doing what you do day in and day out?
It just kind of happened organically. I worked in a butcher shop in high school, so I've always kind of.
Okay.
My grandpa owned one.
Oh, shout out Grandpa.
Yeah, go
Is he
Gramps.
still with us?
Yes, he is.
Amazing.
Yeah, he's on a beach in Mexico. So.
As he should be.
Yeah. So I worked there. So I've been with food my whole life.
Okay.
And then after high school, figuring it out. And then I got a job working at a Brown's in Langley.
Okay.
And I loved it because it was like my weekends were busy.
Mm-hmm.
A lot of my friends were out drinking. They'd be like drama. And then they'd be like, that was the craziest night. And I'm like, oh, I had the craziest night too. But in a way that like I made money.
I got paid for it.
There was no drama.
Right.
I got home and like I missed like all of the stuff that I really didn't enjoy, you know?
Okay.
So I think that's kind of how it happened. And then I met some people that were like older than me that like are like, oh, you guys are kind of like me. Like we have a lot of things in common. Like you like staying up late and you kind of like you're like working hard and like they drank beers and smoke cigarettes and like listen to punk rock and you're just like, oh, this
There's
is what I wanted.
You felt like welcomed by
Yeah,
your
and I was
like
like,
people.
oh, there's other people out there like me.
Right.
Yeah, and then just kind of I went to culinary school, got a couple jobs, and you just keep meeting new people and
Wow. So this
feeling
is
like you're
this
part
is
of something.
kind of like in your blood, if you will.
yeah, a little bit for sure.
Yeah.
I think so.
If you had to be doing something else right now, another industry, what would it be?
I really want to be a pop star.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give us some notes?
No. I just think that would be like that's the ultimate job.
Oh, okay. Like you don't sing, but you
No.
just want to be a pop star.
Yeah. Like the
I don't want
outfits.
to. Sorry, I don't want to interrupt you, but Edie's a great singer.
Yeah. Do you know what? I've
Yeah.
had on the podcast now, I've had probably 3 or 4 people that have said at the end of the podcast, we'll get to these questions and I'll ask you this because I repeat them every time. And I've asked them these questions, and one of them was like, oh, I want to perform, I want to like sing or play the piano. And I've always said like, okay, well, give us a few bars, like drop a few bars on us. And everyone just goes silent.
Oh yeah.
Like that sound, like the needle
Like
drumming.
me hitting. That was perfect timing.
Yeah, it was great timing. So you won't give us a few bars?
No.
But do you are you a shower singer? Are you a prep singer?
No, I just
When
think
you
I like that it's like there's somebody that writes your songs for you. You
Oh,
get to wear
okay.
the coolest outfits.
Okay.
You're probably auto-tuned.
Right. Oh, we're talking pop specifically.
Like pop specifically. Like Miley Cyrus, Britney Spears, like you're just formulated
Oh,
to
okay.
this like lifestyle.
She's a prep singer for sure.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What do you catch her singing?
What was the good one you were doing the other day? Well, it wasn't the other day. It was a while ago. Not Shakira.
Oh.
No.
Christina Aguilera.
Christina Aguilera.
Oh, okay. Which one?
Edie, give it. Just do it.
No,
Just
I'm not doing that.
What's the song?
Yeah. What's the song?
Beautiful?
Beautiful.
Oh
Is it
yeah.
beautiful?
Oh, that's like that pulls in your heartstrings.
Yeah.
Did you cry over your prep
No.
We cried.
together?
We had a good one with Adele too. Hello?
Adele, yeah.
Yeah. Hello
Yeah.
this week was a big one.
For those of you that
Yeah.
haven't checked out Trans Am online, go and check them out and check out their Instagram. And I guarantee nothing on that page imagery lends itself to Christina Aguilera or Adele.
No.
Nothing.
Which is kind of, I think, how the world works, though, right?
Yeah.
You have someone that likes Metallica, but you know what? When they're getting dressed in the morning, combing their beard, it's Dolly Parton or something.
No, ABBA.
ABBA.
That's the biggest. Edition.
Guaranteed ABBA for sure.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Can
Yeah.
you give us a few bars?
No, but it's the best record we have, I think. Someone came in and they made a joke. They're like, "Do you guys like take record donations?" And we're like, "No, depending what it is." She's like, "So you guys wouldn't take ABBA if we brought it in?" And I was like,
yes.
"That's the only record
That's the only one
ever want."
That's amazing.
Yeah.
So how often do you guys spin ABBA?
Probably 4 times a week.
It's a regular.
Yeah. So it's on regular rotation.
It's ABBA.
Yeah.
Yeah.
How can you not?
Yeah.
So let's go back to my original question of one of the reasons why I was motivated to have you guys on this podcast was because I feel like what you're doing is different, and feel free to jump in and say like time out. It's not at all. It's very similar. But looking at how most traditional restaurants are set up, what you guys are doing is a bit unique. Even the capacity you have is unique. So your menu has to be unique, and how you prep and do all those things. So again, was this a conscious decision? Did you always know it was going to be a really small, intimate team? And if that was the case, how do you guys then make this work? How does it work in and day out as a team, a collaborative? But just right now, there's 2 of you.
Yeah.
And are we expanding to a third again?
We are. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So I basically opened the spot because it was just me, and 13 seats was. I mean, it's like I said in the other podcast, it's a regular section. It'd be like 3 tables of 4. That's, my math is right. Yeah, 3 times 4 is 12. Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah.
So I figured it'd be not easy, but it's manageable. It's an L-shaped bar, so you can see everyone. You can talk to everyone at the same time. And then bringing someone else in was a bit tight at first, what I thought, but it kind of works. With communication, it always works. Edie's on the rough section, though, because the in and out of Trans Am for the back bar is through Edie.
Right.
And as a cook myself, I hate when people pass through my section.
Just stay behind. Then it's
Just
fine.
stay behind.
Behind,
Right.
it's fine.
But, we always try and give her as much space as we can, but it happens that we're just running through. And then obviously Trans Am started growing. So we got Edie, Dave back, who now is actually, when this is out, he'll probably be in Toronto.
Yeah, this will be out in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
Yeah. So he's leaving tomorrow for Toronto. He's moving out there.
Shout out Dave.
Shout out Dave back. Yeah. I mean, we couldn't have done it without him. The past year and a half was great. And now we're bringing in, oh man, he's going to hate this, but we're bringing in John Merrill.
John Merrill.
So John Merrill, we'll call him John. John he's probably one of the best oyster shuckers in the city.
Okay.
He's coming to join our team.
Nice.
Yeah. Not to say that we're doing oysters, but
right. He just has the ability. If he has to, he can grab.
If he has to, he will. He probably will. We probably will be doing it like every once in a while, just to throw it in there, just to
mix it up,
have fun with people. But John, it's going to be a great addition.
Amazing.
Yeah.
How long ago did we pull the trigger on that?
It's been a while.
Okay.
I don't know. We'll say January 13th.
Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Nice. That's awesome.
Yeah.
So do you think is there anything unique about how you guys make it work, or is it just this is how you would do it in any restaurant, any industry?
No, I think it's unique because we have the ability to do what we want in the sense of this is what we love doing, and we'll just put it out there. Example, like the burgers. I love burgers. Trans Am because of the burgers.
Yeah.
Now Edie's come in since she took over in August on the food program. It's just been insane. All the beautiful snacks and the main dishes, expanding the menu, being able to do it. Alone, I wasn't able to do it, but she's more than capable and loves doing, just adding the Spam Gyoza, which was one that came onto the menu. The Cheese Supreme is basically Edie's creation, trying to feed me. Teamwork.
Yeah. Keep you alive.
Yeah, keeping me alive.
Yeah.
So many options that I didn't really think I would bring in. And that he was like, no, I could do it. It could be done.
Right.
Let's do it. And
now you're doing it.
Yeah, so now we're doing it. Menu's expanding.
What's that process like? Does Edie propose something to you and you make the decision based on intuition, based on it tastes good, based on it makes sense with the concept? Or are you looking at costing? Like, how collectively are you guys making a decision?
I feel like we have a lot of rules, but they're really hard to explain.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think the deal is,
Like you say something and it's like you get a weird face. It's like, oh no, or
Yeah.
good. Or I'll say something to you and you're like,
no.
and then you're just like, okay.
Like Edie's not allowed to bring, what is it, quinoa? You're not allowed to bring
Oh,
quinoa.
because I wouldn't even try.
There's no quinoa ever
No,
that's going to be
no.
on the menu. But give an example, like,
I brought salad in, where we had a salad for the
Yeah.
first time, and you're
Yeah.
like, whoa.
whoa. Yeah.
Pure
But it was a
fresh.
nice,
Sounds
what
good,
was
dude.
it?
Salad
It was
in
it was a charred
Escarole.
escarole salad, and it was fantastic,
Yeah.
and I eat it all. We don't even sell it. I just eat it.
That becomes your
So the
staff meal.
vegetables were tricky for a little bit,
Yeah.
but now we're
Right.
good. We're
Yeah,
cool.
no, I think I'm blessed to have her with us because she'll she'll say, hey, I want to do this. And it's like, yes,
Right.
let's
Let's do it.
just do it.
But
Just
it's
do
the
it.
same way around too.
Yeah.
You're like, I want this. It's
Yeah.
like, oh, I could do that easy.
Yeah.
Right.
It's like, we love shrimp cocktail, but we're not going to do the traditional shrimp cocktail. It never will be. And she bangs them out. Yeah.
How does this work? You guys seem like you're almost like brother sister. Like you guys seem like you could do this, like hang out all day, all night.
We have.
Is this
We have.
is this just true serendipity and fate that this kind of you guys came together, came to be, or do you feel like you manifested this in some way? Either of you, like why? Because it's very rare, as we know, that to go to work and work with people so intensely, especially in such a small environment, such as literally a small environment. But then desire to like crack jokes and have fun outside of work still together. So how does that work, and why does it work for you two?
I have
I haven't
no
thought
idea.
about it.
Edie slid into the
Your
DMs
DM?
of
Yeah.
slid into the DMs of Trans Am
Yeah.
when we posted a job just for general work.
Yeah. Well, I just got out of a long-term work relationship.
Oh,
We'll
okay.
say.
So they were your rebound.
So I was in it for like 3 years, and then
Right.
it was summertime. I was kind of like bored at home, going through Instagram Thursday night probably, and then I followed Trans Am, and they were like looking for somebody to help out Friday, Saturday, whatever.
Yeah.
And then I was just like, hey, I know Dave.
Yeah.
I'd be down to come hang out. Like I was very in between things, as
Right.
you will. And then I just like showed up, and then now I work there all the time.
How long ago was that? Sorry.
April, so less than a year, something like that.
Oh, okay.
May.
It was before April.
I feel like
Yeah,
I feel like
something
the
like
listeners would have thought up until now, just like me, that you guys have working together for like 4 years.
I haven't
No.
even known
5
you a
years.
year.
Not even.
Wow.
It's not even a year.
So what is it about each other, like personality wise? Why do you guys get on so well? Is it because of the music? Is it because of the food? Like, what about like it just works? It's like I'm friends with my friends because we like the same whatever. Whoa, we're just like breaking all the rules all of a sudden here. We're banging stuff off tables.
Edie, relax. Let the man finish.
You know, we have similarities or certain things that we can like depend on as far as like a framework or like roots of our tree of friendships. Like we know we have strong roots because we like this or whatever it may be. So there's certain things that you guys are like, oh man, I like this. And she's like, oh, I like that too. And just like more things that add to kind of the strength of your relationship from a working standpoint, but also from a friendship standpoint.
I don't know. I think we both really love food. I think we also enjoy maybe eating food and being with company in the same way.
Okay.
Like we both prefer to, I guess, stand at a bar
Yeah.
or to sit at the bar rather than grab a table. Although today we did switch it up when we
Yeah.
just went to Como to have a little
Shout out Como.
pre-podcast meal.
Yeah, as you do.
That was my idea, though.
We didn't stand, but we sat at the.
They had the in-between table.
Yeah, they had the in-between table.
They had the compromise.
Right? The
Right.
compromise.
Yeah.
Compromise table.
I don't know. I think we just like the same things.
Except for McDonald's.
I love McDonald's.
And I hate it.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's nothing good about McDonald's.
No.
No, except for a Big Mac with no middle bun.
So dumb. So gross.
Yeah.
That's your go-to?
It's my go-to for McDonald's.
Yeah,
Yeah,
sure.
or filet of fish, extra pickles.
No.
Yeah.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
That's
So
like
gross.
that's dirty.
That's real dirty.
Like
Yeah.
really dirty.
That's
How often are you doing that?
not often. Not the filet of fish.
I haven't seen that.
Every once in a while, Edie will see me, come in with the McDonald's bang, and she's like, "Oh no, not again, not again."
They don't need your money, dude.
No, they don't.
They don't need your money.
She's like, "I'll make you a burger," and it's like,
it's just different.
yeah,
Don't complain to me when your stomach hurts. So
Yeah.
Yeah,
It
exactly.
does.
Exactly.
yeah.
Every time.
So Edie, what do you use? I have two questions for you. One that I love to ask anyone who's creating something, and arguably you guys both are creators because you create every single day. I think most people in this industry are creators, and this question I love getting context to, and I'll ask you this one first. It is when you kind of see a dish in your mind's eye, and then you create it, plate it, send it out, and you see a guest interacting with it, maybe taking a first bite. What reaction or what is like actually happening to you emotionally? What are you feeling in the marrow of your bones? Like, how does it resonate with you when you see someone enjoying something that only a matter of days or hours was just an idea?
I feel like it feels like exactly how it should. Like that's what food should be like. Like
Okay.
I just picture like you say like you're cooking dinner for your family at home.
Mm-hmm.
You feed them, they're hungry, and they're like nice, and
Right.
that's just kind of what it is. Like I don't need them to like freak out or take a photo or
Mm-hmm.
it doesn't have to be. But it's like if someone's hungry and then they eat something I made and they look happy about it, and you're like, oh well, that's what it's all about. That's exactly it. It doesn't have to be like the most hot cuisine.
Oh
or,
yeah.
like,
Do you look for that though when you send a dish out? Are you looking for the reaction, or are you too busy?
it's very nice at Trans Am actually because I get to see people eat
Right
it.
there, yeah.
So it's also super nerve wracking. Like, well, people come in, they're like, I haven't had the burger before. And I know they're gonna like it, but you're just
Yeah.
like, oh man.
Like, are they gonna love it?
yeah. It's
Yeah.
like I can see like there's literally somebody a foot away from me eating my food, and you're
Yeah.
just like, or like I don't know. Sometimes they don't eat it all right away. You get like nervous, but it's fun and it's nice to be able to see it. I think that's like for me at Trans Am, that's great. Like normally you work in kitchens, you don't really get to see what you do or people enjoying it.
Right.
Whereas like I can have a table of 4 2 feet away, and they eat 3 or 4 of my dishes, and they're like, "That was awesome," and they just like can look me in the eyes and tell me,
Right.
or
And-
they could be like, "Oh, that was a little too," and you're like, "Oh, okay, cool, thanks." Like there's no weird in between, there's no middleman. It's just you get to see it.
How do we at Trans Am deal with things like that when people say, because I think this is a little sidebar, I think this is what's holding our industry back in a lot of ways, is especially in Canada, like we're too nice. Like I have friends that will go to a restaurant, they'll spend X number of dollars, hundreds likely. I'll ask them how their meal was. I'm like, you know what, it wasn't good, the steak was overdone, or the halibut was dry, or the wine was whatever. And I said, well, did you, like when they asked you, did you tell them that you weren't happy? No, we didn't. And I just think like that's a miss. Like that's an opportunity that you've taken away from that business to try and improve and make your experience better. Now you're quietly thinking it's a shitty experience. So how do you guys, one, promote that? Because it is so unique, the engagement opportunity you have with your guests. So how do you promote that openness, feedback? And then how do you then deal with someone saying like, I thought the burger was underdone, or I thought it was overseasoned, or I thought the drink was too watery, or it was too strong for me. Is there anything specific you guys do you think that's unique to Trans Am to promote that feedback and then deal with it? Or is it just you do what you do?
I think we generally do what we do.
It's usually people we know
Yeah.
that are telling us how they
Yeah.
feel.
The
See,
ones
it's
that
okay.
the ones that will tell us their honest feedback, they're probably regulars.
Yeah, and they're right usually.
And they're right. But I think we don't just put out a dish just because we're like, oh, let's do this. I think we'll taste a dish maybe like 4 or 5 times before it actually goes out, before we decide to, okay, we're going to put this as the feature. 2, the burger is what people come for. And I mean, if you don't like it,
It's always the same.
it's always the same. It's not going to change.
Right.
Like we do it one way, and that's the way we do it.
Yeah, like cooking it from you to me, people are like, oh, I don't even notice.
Yeah.
And I'm like, well, why would you notice?
Yeah.
You taught
I
me
mean,
how to do it, so I
yeah.
just do it your way.
It's,
and it's like,
it's
that's
a
the
burger.
same.
It's not rocket science. It's,
Right.
Consistency. So,
yeah.
I don't know. I'm not really open to criticism on the burger,
Yeah.
I feel like. And people are like, oh, it's the same as it's been.
Yeah.
I've cooked them, you've cooked them.
Yeah.
Exactly the same hundreds of times.
I
Someone doesn't like it, I'm like, well, then you just don't like it.
don't know if this is a good thing or a bad thing, but we don't really get complaints about the food or the drinks.
No.
Yeah, so I wonder then, are you guys, and this could likely be it, you're just crushing it every time, which is awesome. That could be the reality.
It could
but
be.
But I'm wondering is, and this is for me like a holistic conversation. So I'm speaking to not just you guys, but everyone in our industry, especially those that aren't in our industry, that are just consumers of our industry. It's like, I want to encourage people to give feedback. When you like it, let us know. When you don't, let us know. When it's okay, let us know, because that's how we move forward.
People should let us know if
something is wrong.
Yeah.
Right.
I'm like what's that comedian Sebastian Maniscalco? He's
yes.
Like,
so funny.
Oh fuck. I didn't like the salmon. Fuck it. I won't order again. I'm not going back.
Yeah.
It's like I didn't like it. I didn't like it.
Yeah.
Maybe it was made perfect the way the chef liked it.
Come on, guys.
The way the chef liked it.
Sit on my head.
But I am not. Yeah, I wouldn't generally say anything myself.
Really?
Yeah, I find that weird. I know. If it's a service aspect, I might give a hint.
Okay.
Yeah, food's tricky to comment on.
But food is like,
I would though.
I don't know.
A lot of my friends have restaurants, and if I go to my friend's restaurant and I get something that's like, let's say I got a too cheesy risotto, I would tell my friend who was a chef there, like not that day. And not in a review, but like the next time I saw them, I'd be like, hey, like that pasta cook you had on put a whole bunch of cheese in, and I don't think it needs it.
Right.
So it's not really a review, and it's maybe I'm in a specific position, maybe that I could say that directly to a friend or somebody I know, but I think you should.
Yeah.
And I would hope that somebody would do the same.
Exactly.
Like,
That's just that right there is it, because I personally, if I own Brad's Cafe, I don't want someone leaving not giving me the opportunity to make it right.
Yeah.
And at least give me the opportunity to say like, hey, Jay, thanks so much for the feedback on the burger, dude. I really appreciate you doing that, because I know it can be tough sometimes to give feedback. Our burger is the way it is. So if you don't like it, I would love to give you something else to see if it can like hit the boxes for you. But the burger is the way it is, dude. So that's just what we do. But you should try our X. Do you know what I mean? Because if no one speaks up, or we like tippy toe around this thing, how do we as businesses get more bums in seats more often? How do we start charging more for what we do? Because we actually care. We want to make your experience amazing. And I think most businesses right now that exist in this industry, they do really care. They want to make your experience great, but we can't do that without data, right? And here's the difference is, because it's not happening and not being promoted in the restaurant on the day of, people are going online and writing shitty reviews, and then 10,000 people see it.
Yeah, but these are reviews written by someone who can't even make a spaghetti.
For sure.
Home, right?
But the amount of weight that bears, like the amount of times I know owners in this city that will literally stress over a Yelp review or a Google review or whatever it is, and they try to put that thing out as soon as they possibly can, because they know.
No.
But for them, it impacts their business.
No, that's the wrong topic for me.
Yeah.
You know what?
No? Okay, we'll skip that one.
If you're going to do something, do it right, put it out right.
But I feel like Yelp reviews and then like an unhappy customer are a different thing. Because like with Yelp, anybody can have an opinion.
Yeah.
Anybody can say anything. Like when you look at like somebody's bad Yelp review and they've also gave their hairdresser a bad review.
Oh yeah, there's context.
Like,
there's context.
So it's like everybody can have an opinion, obviously.
Yeah.
Whatever they say.
I think
everybody has one.
When I first opened, I got a few bad reviews.
Yeah.
And when I look back at it now, I kind of don't blame them. But
well, yeah, because you were new.
I was new, and I was just getting like it was like getting a review written on you. You take it so personally.
Exactly.
You're like, oh man, like it hurts. Like I gotta make it up. And then one day I just
stopped.
Like, yeah, and I was like, you know what? Beep that.
Yeah.
See, I didn't swear.
Yeah.
Beep that. And so I was just like, I'm gonna start doing what I want to do and how I do it. And you can't take a negative review personally, just like you can't take advantage of a good review. You know, you can't get all like, what's the word?
Like high and mighty.
Yeah, you can't be like, oh, I'm the
on the
best
cock of the
because
walk because
I got all these good reviews and everything. Listen, man, like
you're only as good as your last.
Yeah, you're only as good as the last dish you put out.
Yeah, exactly.
And like you honestly can't take any review personally.
100%.
I don't even. Some people say, "Hey, did you read the review on Trans?" No.
Too busy.
I don't
Driving fast.
too busy driving fast, and
Can't
I can't
text
look
and
at my
drive.
can't text and drive. You
Exactly.
can't-
And
no,
you don't need no phones at the restaurant.
no phones at the restaurant.
Yeah.
So
We actually don't have a phone right now.
we actually
We're
So
just
anybody
on
who's
the
trying to call Trans Am,
Oh,
your
yeah.
best bet is to
DM you on
DM.
Instagram.
DM me on Instagram or
And you might get a job.
Yeah, transam.com. I think it's transamrestaurant.com.
Nice. We're gonna take a quick pause, reset the cameras, and we're gonna come right back. And I want to talk more about like unapologetically doing what you want. I think that's so cool in art, in sports, and especially in restaurants. So we'll come right back, fill up the waters, and turn the cameras back over.
Sweet.
Cool.
Yeah.
Pause. I was recording all the dead air and not what we just talked about, so we'll have to do it again. But we'll make it organic. That was awesome. I looked down, I'm like, geez. Anyway, Fit for Service, which we talked about off air last time. I've finally linked up with the shoe sponsor, so that's happening. So I am personally a little self-promotion, creating a platform that is a physical, mental, and spiritual space for people in our industry to come and get fit for service.
That's the best.
So Edie was just sharing before I actually hit the record button about a platform that she's involved in, which is KitchenAid, which is a local platform of back of house talent that gets together to create positive change in our industry. And on September 17th, we'll do it round 2. September 16th, February 16th. We got it.
Yeah, that's
You guys are hosting an event because it is a post dine out event. And for those listening that aren't familiar with Vancouver Dine Out is what?
It's I've never done it, but
It's a mess.
It's 3 weeks of the same repetitive menu to bring diners out and keep promoting business, I think.
In a slower part of
the slowest time of the year. So all of it's good intentions, but it's a burner. Like it's 3 weeks of the same menu over and over again. And
it's like it's like Groundhog Day.
It's Groundhog Day for 3 weeks. So it's just kind of like we're inviting all these cooks to come hang out for an afternoon, have some beers, learn how to sharpen their knives, just relax after 3 weeks of
pure hell.
Yeah.
Ish.
Maybe some people like it. Some people hate it.
I think stuff like that is actually really healthy to go through. Maybe not all the time. We're talking earlier about like being rejuvenated. I think an event like this is exactly what I was asking about earlier. Like, how do you rejuvenate? Well, we get together, we have some beers, we sharpen our knives, and we share stories about either how crappy the last 3 weeks were or some wins in the last 3 weeks.
The best is the post-service talk shit about work beer. That's it. That's, I don't know. So it's kind of like an afternoon of that.
That's cool.
We hear you, see you, appreciate you. We've been there. I don't know.
Do you feel like when you are involved with KitchenAid or just generally in this industry, do you feel like a bit of a veteran now? Do you feel like it's kind of up to you to help the people that are on the up and up to make sure they're okay? And if that's the case, do you have that person for yourself as well?
I wouldn't say veteran by any means, but I feel like I have a new confidence that I've never had before.
Okay.
Where I was just kind of like, I don't know, you just work really hard, keep your head down and say yes. And then maybe since Trans Am or the last couple months being chef at Autostrada for a little bit, you get like a new confidence and people want to hear what you have to say. And I never maybe felt like that before. So I think maybe that's kind of where I'm at now and get to be part of something sweet and people want to hear what we have to say, which is nice.
What's our take collectively here in this room right now on, do you have to do something to be confident? Or can you just be confident? Someone have to tell you you're good at something to be confident, or can you just be confident? I don't mean cocky. I mean confident. Like, do you need to have that first? Do you need someone to say? Do you need, in our industry, for example, do you need to do 6 years peeling potatoes or in the dish pit to then have the confidence to feel like you can call yourself a veteran or be that way? Like, or can you just know intuitively, like, I actually know that I'm really good at this. I'm not as good as I am going to be, and I'll get better through the experience. But do we need outside influences, or not outside influence, outside approval for us to have confidence or act a certain way, or does one not come without the other?
I think one, if you're peeling potatoes for 6 years,
you should be pretty confident.
You should
open up a potato skin restaurant
or reconsider.
Hopefully, you're good at it.
But I think I forgot. I lost my train.
I just wonder if there's young chefs listening, and I know not chefs, cooks, people getting into this industry coming out of say college or training, coming into this, and they're like, oh man, I have to put in 5 years before I can do this. I'm like, actually, I don't really agree with that. If you want to go and do it, like, just do it.
Well, technically, you do have to put your time in.
Oh yeah.
I mean, there is a lot to learn.
For sure, don't get me wrong.
And,
to learn, yeah. But if you can execute it, then
if you can execute it, I mean, sometimes people think that they could just execute it and do it, and then they learn the hard way that you can't. But like I said in the other podcast, I think to do what we do, you have to be a certain animal, you have to a certain breed.
Yeah.
And by working and enjoying what you do and taking that time, then you progress. And it's only when you progress and you get to a level where you're like, okay, it's not that I can't learn anymore.
Yeah.
But it's the fact that I've learned enough that I can take it to the next level. And doesn't mean you have to peel potatoes for 6 months or for what X amount of time. It comes when it's ready. If you're forcing it,
yeah, for sure,
it's not right. But like you can't just be like, hey, I've worked in the service industry for 3 years. I'm going to open a restaurant, or I'm going to do this. I'm going to take a head chef position somewhere.
right.
Yeah.
Like, you're crazy.
I think it goes both ways. You can't.
But I feel like we're arguing confidence and maybe respect,
Yeah.
which are different things. Because you
Yeah.
can be confident without respect,
Yeah.
and you won't be successful.
Yeah.
And it's more of like, how do you get respect from people? Or if you're in charge of
Yeah.
somebody, you can be as confident as you want, but if no one respects you, it doesn't matter. So that's by paying your dues, by being an animal, by peeling potatoes for 6 months. You eventually have respect from people that maybe you always had, but you don't realize it.
Yeah.
Or something like that.
Yeah.
Because confidence is one thing, but respect in the kitchen is probably most.
Yeah.
And I think probably most jobs, if you don't respect who's ahead of you, then
Yeah.
it's not going to be.
I think there's that natural hierarchy though in the back of house that I actually like, where you have like chef, CDC,
Yeah.
you know, 'cause like there's a reason for it.
Yeah.
And I just don't want it for anyone that's on the up and up to think like, oh, I have to do it this way. Like, yeah, you kind of should wash dishes first.
Yeah.
But
Always.
not because you have to. It's because you should probably want to do that, because you're going to learn a lot. You'll see a lot.
No, you have to.
No, yeah.
If you haven't closed the dish pit at
Yeah.
1 a.m. with a flooding sink, it's
Yeah.
like, it's the respect
Right.
thing. Also,
Yeah.
like, if you don't know that's how this could go, like,
Yeah,
you could
100%.
cook the most nicest food, the most like beautiful course meal, and then you still have to close the dish pit.
Because then as a chef dealing with the dishwasher who can't
He didn't
complete
show
that
up.
task,
Yeah.
how are you going to be like, hey, you got to, close the dish pit when it's overflowing at 1 a.m. when you've never done it yourself?
I completely agree.
You got to show that person how it's done so it never happens again.
How do you then instill confidence in someone? Say you guys expand and you have Trans Am Toronto and you're hiring a new staff in Toronto, and you've got a young woman in the dish pit and you want her to feel confident in what she's doing. How do you, as leaders or as leader, instill confidence, like pull that out of people, be like, you can do this. We want you to do this. You're good enough for this. If you see that they're lacking in that, like, how do you facilitate confidence?
I feel like they have to want to.
Yeah.
You have to want to do it.
I don't know if I can. We had a guy once helping us out.
Okay.
And we were like, well, Trans Am is 6 to midnight, right?
Yep.
And it was, I think, like 11:15, 11:20. And we were like, you know what? You can go. Like, you're good for tonight. Thanks for helping us out. And he's like, no. He said, I got to finish. And we were all like, man, we wish you could stay. Like,
Right.
I wish you can just stay with us.
Yeah, that's what you
because
want.
like that's the mentality you want. It's like, no, it's like, I'm here from this time to this time. I still got things to do.
Yeah. My job's not done till it's done.
And I want to do them. Can I leave? I'll leave after I'm done. And it's like, you know what, man? Do what you got to do.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't find that. It's hard to find.
Yeah.
That's more like once you find good people, though, you don't let them go.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then you can start mentoring and,
building their confidence.
They have to be open to it, though.
They've
Yeah.
got to be like, I want to do this.
Yeah.
And it goes with any job. I mean, if you just want to get out at 5 o'clock exactly, you're wasting your time. You're wasting everybody's time.
Yeah.
I mean, I don't know.
Or you're doing fine, but
Yeah.
not. Kitchens lend themselves well to people who want to learn. and
Yeah,
like
I think
restaurants in
the-
general.
yeah,
You'd be
the whole
like-
industry,
It's
yeah.
like, oh, like kitchen's kind of slow. You're like, oh, what are they doing over at the bar? Or
Yeah.
wait, actually, what are our wines like? And it's
Yeah.
like you have some free time. You can see and learn a whole bunch more.
Yeah.
And those are the people that
You want to
I feel like
Yeah.
want to build around.
do well.
Yeah, I think that's something that's so unique about industry. There's this, those that do it and do it well, there's this massive level of just respect.
Yeah.
Like, for example, to give you guys that are listening, tuning in, like, I got a text from Jay early today saying we'll be there 10 minutes before we're supposed to be there. I feel like that's because you're in the hospitality industry.
Is it?
Well, maybe I'm just polite and courteous.
Punctual. But like,
We didn't show up right at the same time. So too.
But I feel like, say, so right now we're drinking waters. We've had some coffees. I don't want to, plant a seed that isn't meant to be there. But I would be very surprised if we finish this recording and you guys are like, "Okay, see you, Brad." Like, he wouldn't be like, "Oh, like, where can we put the glasses? Can we help with it?" It's just, you know what I mean? Where I've had other guests who maybe don't have the pedigree coming from this industry, who don't necessarily look at things through that lens. And it's not wrong or right.
No.
It's just very nice when someone says, "No, man, I'll stay longer." "No, man, like, help you with the cups. Like,
Yeah.
I'll help you put them away." It's just like, oh, you're like, okay, where did you train? Or like, who trained you? Or
Yeah.
it's for me, it's like it is the definition of being hospitable.
Well, I mean, we use the mugs.
Yeah, but a lot of people don't think that way.
I
No.
know. A lot of people are like, oh, thanks for the coffee.
That's
Can
it.
I
Not
get
everybody
another?
has to. Then we
Yeah.
wouldn't have a job.
Yeah.
Yeah, true.
Yeah.
True. So, Jay, before we took a quick break, you had said, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, it's like, you're just going to do what you want to do. We're just going to do what we do. And there's part of me, a lot of me, that agrees with that in so many different aspects of life. Like, if you find someone that is unapologetically doing what they want to do, like being so true to what's inside of them, there's something really sexy and attractive about that. Do you feel like what you guys are creating at Trans Am is just really what is inside of you and you're just letting it out, and people are starting to become more and more attracted to that, like a moth to a flame kind of thing?
I think so. What do you think?
It,
I mean, you're the outside,
yeah.
like,
I would say Trans Am, when I got there, it felt very special and very safe and like a very beautiful place. And I had nothing to do with it whatsoever. So I feel like definitely Dave had made this sort of culture. That's the way the space looks is kind of how I feel like your brain would probably look inside, like it's very
Thanks.
yeah,
Nice
right.
brain,
I
bro.
think so. I don't know.
Is that a compliment? Is that a brain compliment?
I have no idea. I'll take it.
But it's very like unique to you, and
Yeah.
You found other people that like it too, and you've found somewhere like we could work there, and regulars come in, and like you didn't like appeal to anybody's nature, just your own.
Yeah.
Not in a way of being rude, but you're like, this is what it's like.
Yeah.
If you don't like peeling wallpaper, if you don't like dark, the music will be loud.
Yeah.
That's what it's gonna be like, and it's not uninviting, but it's not what's the word?
I don't know. It's like I used to tell some people way back when, maybe it's not for you right now.
Right. And that's okay.
Like right now, it's not for you.
Yeah. Sometimes when people walk in, it's like you're like, I know you're not gonna like it.
Yeah.
Like we're not gonna have a good time.
What do they look like?
No.
I don't know what they look like, but you can tell like
You
the
can
facial
tell it's a
expression.
vibe. It's a vibe.
Yeah, it's like
What's
they're,
the face?
They're reserved.
Give it to the camera. What's
Give
the
it to
face?
the face.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, that's it. But
It's
you can
like-
old, young, doesn't matter. Couples, single dudes.
Yeah.
Like we'll have crews of girls come in.
Yeah.
We'll have at the Friday night, 11 p.m.
Yeah.
People looking for shots of Jameson.
It's like no, Princeton's next door.
sorry, this isn't what you want.
Yeah.
But it's like it's gonna be an awkward thing. The phone. People are. There's like a specific type of person that'll be hard about the phone,
Yeah,
and they'll be rude. And you're like, don't make me be rude.
that's right.
The reminder to the listeners again that at Trans Am there is a no cell phone rule.
That's right. You got to check your phone.
Yeah. If you want to hear the story about how that came to be, go listen to Jay's podcast with me before
That's
about his
right.
trip to LA.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah. We
But-
brought Edie.
Yeah, I feel like I like that. That's the vibe there. Is that it's like don't go there hoping to take photos for your Instagram, have a quiet conversation with somebody, or have pictures of margaritas. Like it's not that kind of place.
Yeah.
So when you get there, don't be upset that you don't get to have it.
Right.
There's other places nearby you can go.
Yeah.
But if you want to have a sweet cocktail or crush a whole bunch of beers with your pals and eat a burger, it's like that's the spot.
Yeah.
That's it. Don't come there for something else.
If you want to disconnect, come on down.
Yeah, but I also
Yeah.
think there's something really refreshing about stepping into a space, listening to an album, staring at a piece of art that just allows you to just relax.
Yeah.
Because it's someone else's interpretation
Yeah.
of X. Do
Yeah.
you know what I mean?
There's not too many choices.
No.
No, you're just like,
I mean,
But like, how cool is it starting up? How cool is listening to an album that just someone just created because they wanted to create it?
yeah.
Those to me are the most beautiful ones. The ones where the dishes or the albums that are kind of like, there's like one or two pieces that I like, but the rest I kind of can do without. Those are the ones where it's like the record label's like, you need to do this album. Or the chef was like, the owner signed a deal with Shreddies or something. He's like, you got to do
Gotta
like
do
the
the
whole
Shreddies.
menu Shreddies. Just like,
Shout out to Spam sponsor.
yeah. Oh yeah, you want to get a sponsor from Spam? Shout out to Spam.
no, maybe. I wouldn't mind. But we'd probably prefer Vans more than anything.
Oh, Vans for
Yeah.
sure. Levi's.
Yeah, Vans and Levi's.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Hit them up.
hit them up. It's, I mean,
Come on, guys. Like
a lot of kitchen staff wear Vans and Levi's.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Are Vans safe in the kitchen? Are they
No.
slippery?
No.
No,
But
but
they
you know
look
what? They're not that durable. They're cool, and I'm not gonna lie, they're pretty cheap. So
Yeah.
How did the Spam gyoza come to be?
My first month there, you were doing a sandwich beer
yeah,
something at the
yeah.
American. I don't.
I love
wait.
I love Boombox, but
Yeah, that's what you had to pair a sandwich with a beer, and I was just like casually helping
Yeah.
out. And you had 2 flats of Spam at the restaurant, and you
Yeah.
needed only like 3 cans. So
Yeah.
we had a whole bunch. So I think like 2 weeks went by, and then I started cooking. And then
Yeah.
it's like, what do we do with all this Spam? So I like went home and like slept on it, and like it's like kind of like it's like when I can't quite fall asleep is when I think about
Right.
food.
Yeah. Totally. Yeah. When you create.
And I was like, oh, it's like pork, just like that's all you have to think about it.
Yeah,
And like,
it's
what else
pork.
would you do with it? It's like it's super salty, it's hyper whatever.
Mm-hmm.
What goes well with that? And then I think I said pasta, you said dumplings,
yeah,
and then we just kind of
Met in the middle.
and now we buy it on purpose. So
yeah,
yeah, But,
Amazing.
yeah,
it's a big seller.
I've actually always wanted to try this Spam, for lack of a better term, like Spam sushi.
yeah.
I've
I
never
haven't
had it.
Or
Yeah.
if it's Spam fried rice from Spoon by H.
Oh my god,
Didn't get it.
man.
Next time.
Where's this at?
Yeah, Los Angeles, LA.
Oh, okay. Shout out.
Oh man, Spoon by H. David Chang had it on his podcast
Oh, okay.
a while ago, and
You and Dave went.
me and Dave went, and it was out of this world amazing. What is it? First in La Brea, and right like by Koreatown. I think
They were closed when we were there.
Yeah, they were. Yeah,
That was bad. It's a bad day.
so good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What about
was it? Was it Spam fried rice?
You guys had dumplings or something?
We
Or
had
was it
dumpling soup.
Yeah.
We had a seafood bowl or some sort of
Nice.
seafood pasta. Everything was just out of this world.
I'm hungry, man.
Man, let's take a flight. Let's go.
Yeah. I'm down.
Yeah.
Edie, who right now is doing something? Jay just mentioned David Chang, who obviously is massive right now as far as food and food media. Who right now is doing something locally or internationally that you are watching and you're like, damn, he or she is just smashing it. Oh, Jay's
kidding.
making a big like
I'm kidding,
smile.
'cause we were just talking about this earlier.
Do you have like a little bit of like a kitchen crush on someone right now or no?
No.
How
No,
many
not
how
at all.
many kitchen crushes do you have?
I have like none.
Okay.
No.
Thanks.
Not at all.
So just so you guys that are listening and not on YouTube, Jay did this like big, very exaggerated smile when I asked this question. So I don't know if there's a background to this or not.
No, there's
No.
none. No.
Oh, okay.
I mean, no. No, it's okay.
We're good.
So there's no one?
No.
Zero?
Just say it.
No.
It's okay.
No way.
All right.
We're
She
not
gave me
gonna-
the look of death.
We're not going to say it?
We're not gonna.
So
say
there's
it.
someone, there
We're-
is,
There
No,
is
there's a
someone.
couple- well,
there's
he-
someone, but we're not saying
No.
it.
okay.
I don't even know him.
I do, but you don't.
This person local?
No.
This person's in Montreal.
No, it's weird.
We're pulling it up on a cell phone. We're going to do, are we not just going to say it on the air? You're just going to show me?
We're not gonna sit on the air, but I'll show you.
Okay.
And she missed out.
I know. I missed out hard.
We even did a video call, and she missed out, and she wrote me back, being like, "No."
So is
go
it
back."
is it like a respect thing or like a crush thing? Like you want to be with them?
I think.
Oh, no. Like respect for
it's,
sure.
I think it's mad respect.
Yeah. Mad respect.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah. He
Yeah.
was, I interviewed the producer and director that did Dish Pigs. Have you guys seen Dish Pigs?
No.
Oh, you guys should watch it. It's amazing. It documents people from Dish Pit and tells their stories. 4 different restaurants in Montreal.
Yeah.
Okay.
And his restaurant
Was on there,
Yeah,
yeah.
his dish
Yeah.
guy was on there. Yeah.
Yeah, he's also on TV. He's on air tonight.
Okay.
One of these Food Network things.
I mean, you can say who it
Okay.
is, I guess. It
No,
doesn't
you
matter.
can't. It's okay. You're gonna have. We're not gonna say who it is.
So can I just ask, what about this person? What inspires you? What are you watching? You're like, oh, I respect that.
I just feel like I saw him on TV a few years ago. Well, I don't, whatever. We'll say Danny Smiles, Top
Okay.
Chef.
We got there.
Canada,
We
season
got
2.
There we go. You just said
I don't
it.
know
There
him at
you
all.
go.
He's friends with Jay. I just like, I feel like, I don't know him. I don't know. He could be whatever. You like him, so that has to count for
He's a
something.
sweetheart.
Yeah. But I just like see him on TV. I know like Chuck Hughes, I really thought was cool. He worked for him. He paid his dues. He was sous chef at a restaurant for a
Yeah.
long time. Then got his own, worked hard. I liked his, I don't know, ethos on Top Chef, I guess.
Yeah.
And then you see him in a couple, Iron Chef. He's
Yeah.
pretty cool. A couple interviews, YouTube things. I like, oh, I really like that guy. Do you know him? A person I really respect also likes him. You're like, okay, cool. Follow
Right.
him on Instagram. Like the photos. Food looks nice. You're like,
Right.
I don't know. One of those like gentle fangirl, I guess.
Yeah.
Follows probably.
What if, hypothetically speaking, what if we like set up a? I don't know if you know this, but I do a charity dinner series throughout the year. So I do 6 of them because my company's
Yeah.
called Half a Dozen Hospitality. So I do half a dozen dinners, and the dinner always is a local farm, a different chef, and then a local food-based charity. So all the profits go to a food-based charity, different every time. And we have had chefs come into town from out of town to collab with other chefs to execute. So what if we reached out to Mr. Danny Smiles and said, do you want to come collab
Oh,
with?
yeah.
Yeah?
Yeah.
Okay.
We should.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah.
All for charity, dude. It's a great thing.
Yeah. All for
Yeah.
charity.
100%.
Yeah.
No.
Edie's like all for charity, but I get to cook with him. I get to stand next to him.
Think of the content.
Right?
Yeah. Yeah, no, it's it'd be cool actually to whether that comes to fruition with Danny or if perhaps we can even add you to the roster at some point this year because it's
Yeah,
a really
yeah.
really cool thing. We
I'll
do.
wash dishes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Amazing. Yeah, we definitely need
I'm
that
not
as well.
You're cooking. You're not washing dishes.
I do it all the time.
It's important. We have to.
I know, but
Yeah, but she doesn't belong in the dish pit.
yeah.
What is something that you've seen her do? We talked about how she feels when she puts out a dish to a guest and they're interacting with it and may feel pride or happiness or whatever it is she's feeling in that moment. What's something she's done in the months that you guys have been working together where you felt super proud of her or really happy for her? What she created or what she facilitated where you kind of sat back maybe quietly and just said to yourself like, go girl, do your thing? Maybe you wouldn't say go girl.
I wouldn't say go girl, but
Easy tiger.
easy. Pump the brakes, turbo. You know what? She just owns that section.
Right.
Like she not only that section, it's just like every aspect of Trans Am.
Mm-hmm.
It's like I don't even have to tell her how it, like, you know, interacting while cooking. Example, don't have to say anything.
It's innate.
She's like it's in her. She's got it.
So good.
I think maybe it's the same train of thought
Mm-hmm.
or the same response, but she's obviously a no bullshit kind of girl. Like you treat her with respect, she'll treat you with respect, and yeah, she literally owns that role. Like this is. I don't know, Eads. We wouldn't be able to replace you
No.
ever, so you can't leave.
Actually, this is my 2 weeks notice.
Can you imagine?
Little do you know, you have no more hands to work
Yeah.
after 2
Surprise.
weeks.
Yeah.
Cut them off.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. I think the first time I showed her, I think like when she was coming in April, and I was like, you know, eventually you're gonna have to start. Like the plan is to get you doing this section and to like revamp it. And I think I can't remember right if it was the burger or was something else. And I said, you know, maybe you should just let that sit. And she looked at me and she kind of gave me this look and was like, yeah, I know. And I was like, all right, I don't gotta say anymore.
Right.
No. Yeah. Even the fact that she went from what she was doing and came into Trans Am and was like, I mean, she worked, let's say 10 years to get to where she was. And then she came to Trans Am and she just dropped down 8 years.
No.
Like in a sense, but like in a sense,
Yeah.
you know what I mean? Like you were master of like your
domain,
your section, your domain, and then you come into Trans Am being like, yeah, I'm willing to do this, and it's like,
I've never had to talk to customers before.
it's like, are you like,
It's
I wouldn't have
terrifying.
done that. Like, I don't think I would have. I don't know. Maybe I would have, but I don't think I would have been like, hey, I'm gonna just drop it down to helping and serving and washing dishes when I'm an accomplished chef. And I was like, you got to give some thought, like some thought to that, and be like, all right, there's a reason why she kind of wants to do it, and she's.
Yeah, but maybe she can even. Maybe it's and one. I feel like you're not giving yourself enough credit for what you created.
Yeah, it's a
and
great
maybe
space.
maybe she's seen something where she can be a part of it and elevate it to a point where it's like, damn, like I wasn't expecting that out of these four walls.
That's it.
Yeah.
Do you know what I mean?
There's no other restaurant
There's-
in Vancouver I wanted to work at.
There's a blank slate for her, even as a talented chef, and I'm just filling in the gaps here, but for her to go and be like, I'm gonna make this place even better than it's already great, but I'm gonna
Yeah.
make it even better.
I don't know. There's nowhere else to go. I feel like at that point, I don't know. I loved it.
There you go.
I mean,
It's great.
yeah.
You made it. You made it. It's great. It's a wonderful spot. I don't know. You feel welcome when you're there. I wasn't going through like a sweet time in my life, and then just I got to go there and like
It was sweet.
listen to loud music, work with sweet people, and like talk to sweet customers, and just kind of like you could like have an opinion, and you'd be like, yeah, you're right. Oh, okay, that's cool. All right, sweet. It's like, oh wait, what goes into a martini? You're like, I didn't know. Or like, how do you like remember 4 people's drink orders? Like, it was just like a whole different side of a restaurant that I've never seen being in the back.
Yeah.
It's like I'd have to remember 4 drinks, and then I'd
Yeah.
also have to like, I don't know, just take orders and small talk with people, or like,
Yeah.
it's like this is so hard. I've never had to do anything like that. And you're like a whole new appreciation for servers and front of house and like what they do. And now it's like that's why I like cooking there, because it's like you get to do both. Like it's yes, I do mostly burgers, but now I actually get to like kind of serve too.
Yeah.
And like sometimes you hit it off with a couple at like the end of the bar, and like you're just chatting and having a nice time, and you're like, this is like a side of it I've never experienced
Yeah, it's so
of
cool.
like a restaurant that allows yourself well. Like I don't know, I could pour a beer for somebody on the other side. Well, I don't know. Not many places you get to do that.
You're not
Yeah.
locked into that one role.
You're not
that's
stuck in
something-
a windowless
Yeah.
basement.
Super unique.
Yeah.
Can we talk to somebody she joked, I think, about this being her 2-week notice. You joked about cutting her hands off.
I wouldn't cut her hand. I would.
Oh, you would cut her
I
hands
would.
off.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Can we talk a bit about ownership and like sense of ownership? And then this is not reflecting on maybe that is how you feel. I hope it isn't, because I don't want you to chop her hands off. But I feel like at times in our industry, again, this is a broad stroking statement, but I have clients that I've worked with or people I've come across, they have this sense of ownership over their staff that come and work for them. So when their staff decides, their head chef decides, I'm going to go and open up my own spot, the owner or the restaurateur or the GM's like, how dare you? How could you do that? Whereas I know other businesses like my friend Jenner in Halifax, shout out Bar Kismet, where they'll buy a cake for someone and they'll celebrate their time there and say, thank you so much for giving so much of yourself to our business and being such an important part of this. And not coming from this place of lack, but a place of abundance, and not being threatened by, oh my God, I'm going to lose this person. Like if you operate from that all the time, you're just going to have loss around you all the time. So how do you not come from a place of you can't go anywhere else? If you do, I'll chop your hands off.
Well,
or Edie for yourself, when you open Trans Am Toronto
Yeah.
and you're hiring a staff there, and then you get a phone call 9 months later and that head chef that you've hired and trained in Toronto says, I'm moving on. How do you react to that?
I think it was on David Chang's podcast, but he was saying ideally you make yourself replaceable to keep moving forward.
Right.
yeah.
So that's you can't keep doing the same thing you're doing. So if you can train somebody to do you, ideally, like if they do well, then you do well, right? Would that be kind of how it works? I think you have to like.
Well, I mean,
I don't know.
But then how do you? But it's still.
I've never owned anything, so I'm not.
But how do you
Me
not?
neither.
How do you not? How do you not take it personally? How do you not feel like, how could they do that to me? How could Edie go work at 11 Madison Park?
well, I don't know how to answer that, because I mean, if Edie,
I mean, you have one employee. At this
I mean,
point, so.
yeah, I mean, Dave, like when Dave wanted to leave, not wanted to leave, like Dave is, we love him to death,
Yeah.
and like I said on Friday night and Saturday night, like we wouldn't be where we're at if it wasn't because we're a trifecta, right? Like, so now we're missing that puzzle. But as a business, if you're going to rely on just, example, your GM and your chef to make your business great, like, buddy, good luck. Like, it's like,
you don't have a business.
You don't have a business, right? Like, we have an identity. Like, even when trying to replace Dave, like, I was like, well, I don't, he's like, what are you going to do? And I was like, well, I'm going to sit down, I'm going to think about it. And I was like, I don't know, like, who would want to work here. And he's like, well, you're crazy. Like, a lot of people want to work here. And I was like, well, I didn't know. I was like, oh, okay. But I think, like you said, like, you got to make yourself, you got to be irreplaceable and make yourself replaceable at the same time. But I don't think it wouldn't be easy to replace the whole crew. Like, so you can't leave. Like, we're going to chop you. Like, that's why I said I'm going to cut your hands off.
Yeah, for me, it's not about making it easy. It's just about how do we not have this sense of entitlement over our team. Like, you don't own anybody.
It's a team. I mean, I just, like, I own the key.
I think it depends what your relationship instills, though.
Like, totally. Yeah.
If,
like what the culture is.
I know a lot of people with, like, chefs, they'll be like 2-year mentor or visa or apprenticeship, and then those people can't leave. But like, or if they try to, you physically or legally can't. Yeah. So there's that, but then also there's like unwritten rules, I guess, or like what people. But like, what did you promise your employer, or what have you promised them? And then if you leaving has like somehow compromise that, then I can see. But there's like not really like, if I told you I was like, I'm not happy, I'm leaving in 2 weeks, you'd be like, it would suck, but you'd be like, okay, like,
well,
at first, like I signed it.
At first, if you said you're unhappy, it'd be like, let's,
why?
Let's fix that.
But I guess we have a relationship that most people maybe don't have.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe not, but
I think that's a tough question, because I think you always want to like surround yourself with people that'll help you grow too, right? And yes, it hurts when someone is like, okay, well, I'm gonna go take on my own adventure, but you got to respect that decision. I mean,
because you've done that.
I've done that. Everybody's done it, and you have to do that. The thing is if you're relying on your business to succeed, if you're worried about your business succeeding after like a key part leaves, then I mean, you really got to restructure what's going on. Like, you got to understand, like, then that should be like a, what do you call it? Like a rude awakening, being like, oh man, like, this is not me then.
Yeah.
Like, this is like, this place it's just become what it's become because of other people, which you do have that identity from your staff. But then again, you have to have that control to keep it going where it's like in your direction.
Right.
And it's trust, right? Like I'm assuming, like, I know she trusts, like, Edie trusts me for my decisions that I make, and I trust her on hers. But at the end of the day, we have to like collectively work together, and we'll get there. But it sucks to say it, but yeah, it's like I say yes or no, and then we move on.
Yeah, that doesn't suck. That's how it is.
Yeah. I mean, when you build it, then
yeah,
you say yes or no. Like, we have a sign up in Trans Am, like, this is my ship and I'll do as I damn please. Like,
that sums it all up.
Yeah. Easy peasy.
Till Tuesday, we roll out our quinoa bowl menu.
Yeah, exactly.
Quinoa bowl. I'm calling in sick.
You can participate this if you want to, but you've already been through the gauntlet on this one, so you don't really have to. And Edie, I feel like you can do this on your own if you want to, but Jay,
I do want to do it again.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. Cool.
I want to redeem myself.
So this is where we eat as much quinoa as we can in 5 minutes.
Oh man,
and it's raw.
I'm allergic to quinoa.
Yes, don't make me eat it.
As you know, the show is called the Half a Dozen Hospitality Podcast. So I have for you Edie and Jay for the second time the half a dozen have two. So this is one of two questions that I ask every single guest and have since the first podcast episode. So Edie and Jay will do, we'll do tennis style back and forth, do 3 each. So I need from you 3 items that you have experienced in your life that you feel like our listeners have to experience. It can be food related or not. So I always say an album you listened to, or a piece of art you stared at, or a trip you've taken, or a meal you've eaten, a book you've read, a tattoo you've gotten, what are 3 from each of you? So 6 total, half a dozen total items that you feel like our listeners have to do. And Jay, you can't repeat yourself either.
Oh, okay.
Which
I'm happy, more than happy
You're
to
prepared
not.
for this, aren't you?
I'm not prepared for it, but I guarantee you the answers will be better than the last time.
Okay, I feel like you're the hype man on this. Why don't you go
No,
first?
no. You go first.
Okay.
She's her first time here, so
I have to go first.
you have to. That's the rule.
All right. That have to do.
Listeners have to do.
All right, you got to get a ham and cheese sandwich from Duffin's.
Duffin's.
Ham on queso torta from Duffin's Donuts. You got to do it.
And that's local here in Vancouver.
Yeah, 24 hours, best restaurant in the city. I don't care what nobody says.
Okay, shout out Duffin's.
Duffin's.
And what was the menu item again?
The ham and cheese torta.
Ham and cheese torta.
Yeah. At any hour of the day, it's wonderful.
Okay.
And the service is impeccable.
If you're in Vancouver, that's up on
41st and
Fraser?
Clark
Clark.
Clark.
That's the one. Yeah.
41st
Got
and
it.
Clark.
or night. At that point.
Night. Yeah, I think it's still night.
Yeah, 41st and night.
Okay.
That's the
If you're not in Vancouver and you find yourself in the city,
go there.
first
It's
go
kind of
to-
close to the airport.
First go to Trans Am, dine there, and then when they close, go
Yep.
with
Yeah.
Edie to Duffin's.
Yeah.
Yep.
That's it.
Yep.
Shout out.
I do that like once a week.
Okay, shout out the torta. Jay, back to you.
I said the Big Mac thing, right?
Yeah.
Last time?
Yeah, you did, yeah.
Jesus, man.
Oh,
I gotta get creative. Call your mom every day.
every day.
Every day.
Shout out Anna.
Or your mom or your dad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or your
Call your parents.
or your guardian.
Your guardian.
Yeah.
A, B, or C. Give them a
And-
call. Even if it's to say, what are you doing? How are you?
Love that
It'll
one.
change your life.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I like that one a lot. Shout out my mom.
It's cute.
Sweet. Edie, back to you.
I think you gotta, I would say travel by yourself.
Okay.
I don't know forever. I've done it a couple times
Yeah.
and I found it to be very enlightening. You know, it doesn't have to be full Julia Roberts, eat, pray, love, but even if it's like a weekend by yourself, or I did Europe for a bit by myself when I was like younger.
Nice.
I don't know, camping for a weekend. I don't know, spend some time alone with yourself because I feel like it's very easy to be wrapped up.
Yeah.
Everything, and then you're not actually listening to what you maybe need or want from your life.
Wow.
It doesn't have to be far away, but I don't know. Travel, travel alone.
Solo trip. I like
Yeah,
it.
solo trip.
Nice.
Solo trip.
Solo
Jay.
trip.
I'm
tapped. I'm out.
You're tapped out. Put yourself in a uncomfortable situation.
Okay.
Not like a bad situation, but a
Don't harm
like
yourself.
no. What I mean is maybe do something.
Take a cold shower.
Yeah, like just change it up.
Yeah.
Like do something is out of your ordinary routine just once, and see if you can repeat it.
What would be something that you've done in the last week that's been uncomfortable?
I started reading a new book.
Okay. Which is called?
I don't know what it's called, but
Okay.
It's making you uncomfortable.
it is making me uncomfortable because Kylie wanted me to read it, and it's to quit smoking.
Oh.
And
Yeah.
it's a book, and
Is this the book? Is this the book that people say like if you read it, you
I
definitely?
heard it actually works. Yeah.
You know
Yeah.
what? It also says in the book that you should not quit smoking
Yes.
until you finish the book.
Yes. I've heard of this book.
I think it
in the
was.
show notes.
I think more or less what I'm getting to is that maybe it's doing something that you know you don't want to do for yourself, but you know you should.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Like
a cold shower.
Setting
like
goals.
like a goal or a cold shower, or maybe just taking advice from a loved one.
Yeah, because maybe they want you to be around a little bit longer.
Yeah,
And
Should probably.
last study shows that smoking.
it does kill.
It's bad for you.
Last time I checked this morning, and they said, yeah,
it's
they're
bad.
still.
I think you could check now. It's
Yeah.
not scientifically proven that it's addictive.
But vaping's cool, right?
No.
Vaping is definitely not cool.
Not
and
cool.
let's reiterate right now to
Jeez. Oh,
sorry.
anyone listening out
Do
there.
not smoke.
Vaping.
Smoking.
Don't
bad.
smoke or vape.
Yeah, definitely
Eat
don't.
burgers.
Eat burgers. Hang out with
and-
friends and be
yeah.
with good people.
Yeah.
Edie, back to you.
Oh boy.
Imagine you had to replace a cigarette with a bowl of quinoa. You'd quit in a second.
No.
Yeah.
You're distracting me.
Last have to.
Last, you have to do it. What do you have to do? Is it before you die or just in general?
Just in general.
Oh,
It could be before you die.
I guess that's kind of how it would work.
Nothing?
I don't want to tell people how to live their lives.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, okay. Jay, back to you.
The last have to.
Get up on that mic so I can hear you a little better.
The last have to would have to be reach out to you.
To me?
Yeah.
Okay.
To get on this podcast.
Oh, okay.
Or to get advice from you.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Advice?
Oh,
I
nice.
don't know, Brad. I have no
Okay.
idea.
Hey, you're reaching, but I'll take it. Yeah, reach
I
out
mean,
anytime.
I didn't like. I was very nervous the first time I came on this podcast,
Yeah.
and you made me feel like it's nothing at all. These things don't even feel like they're here.
Yeah.
You just hit them every like second, but you don't feel like they're here. Maybe it's just I don't know. Yeah.
Yeah, reach out to me.
Reach out to Brad.
Get on the podcast.
Get on the
or
podcast.
let's just have a conversation.
Even just just get some advice.
There you go. I'm always, you know what? My mother always tells me I have 2 ears and 1 mouth, so I should listen to the math, but I love to offer advice. And
You make people feel very grounded.
Oh,
I like it.
Thank
Yeah.
you, man.
Yeah.
Thank you. I
Yeah.
appreciate that. That means a lot coming from you. Well done, you guys. You did it. But we have one more before I let you go.
Oh no.
The half a dozen haven't yet. So this should be a little bit easier for you, Edie. It is kind of like your bucket list, if you will. So what is on your list that you haven't done yet? I need 3 items from you and 3 from Jay. Jay, you can't repeat yourself. So what would be 3 from each of you? Edie, we'll start with you. Something you haven't experienced yet, food related or not.
Yeah. Do people really do all 12 themselves?
I let people know when they're by themselves, like I did with Jay. I always say,
Yeah.
like, you can do 1 to half a dozen.
Does
People,
it happen?
I've had people do 6 because they're
Ooh.
just like super
Ooh.
competitive.
Yeah.
I had
Now I know.
Trevor Bird on like
Yeah,
a year
Fable.
ago, and he was like, for the have to, he's like, no man, just live your life, bro. And I was like, okay. And I asked him to have it
Yeah.
yet, and he's like, I could die now, dude. And I was like, okay, do you, Trevor? Like, that's amazing.
Nice.
Like, I
All
should have
right.
listened to that one. I did.
It's a
And I
good, it's a really good
man,
podcast, actually. He's coming back on in a couple of weeks, which is cool because his whole business has changed, and
I saw that.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
He's got a sauce going. Like
he has a jam going.
Yeah, jam, that's
He's
right.
got his own catering business. He now is the only owner of Fable.
Yeah, and they also did a big reno. Looks
Big
good.
reno and
Yeah.
interior. Yeah.
Yeah.
So yeah, we're gonna talk about that and all the fun stuff.
I got a fun story about that too.
Yeah.
Well, about that guy.
Okay. Do you want to
Yeah.
share it now or
I'm
off
gonna
air?
share it now.
Go for it.
Well, it involves also Danny.
Okay.
Anyways, when I was sick, I went. Danny took me to this dinner that was at Fable,
Yeah.
and I looked completely different. I was like,
Clean shaven.
clean
and-
shaven, no eyebrows, one
Right.
eyelash. Like, it was really weird. And I went to this dinner, and then Trevor invited Danny and like all the cooks back to his house. And the first second we walk in, I think it was myself or Danny knocked over like a shelf, like full,
Right.
over like 2 or 3 plants on it, and they all just came crashing down. And it was like, I'm just gonna go outside now for a second. And I don't think anybody was like, what the hell happened? And me and him were just like, we're gonna go outside. Sorry, Trevor, for breaking your plant and your pot.
Did he know it was you?
I think so.
Now he does.
I think so, but he wouldn't recognize me because I look completely different.
Right.
So it
I
was
feel like old Trevor probably would have wanted to cut your hands off. I feel like new Trevor would be like, it's all good, dude.
Yeah.
I made a mistake, bro.
What
it's
happened?
okay.
It
Yeah,
happens.
it happens.
It happens. Do you want to do the heaven yet, or do you want to just like skip it and wrap it
I
up?
haven't. I've done everything, man.
Yeah.
No, I haven't. If there's something I haven't done, how about someone DM me and we'll see if we can do it. But I don't.
Ooh.
That's a tough one. That
Is
is
that
like
like a sexual invitation?
no. That was no.
No, it's not. We can take it.
Jeez, Kylie, I'm sorry. I love you. No, I don't know. I'm always up to doing anything, really.
Yeah.
If you ask like for a challenge, let's do it. I mean, you want to go for a 100-meter dash? Let's do it. I'll probably beat you.
Parkour.
Yeah.
On
Yeah.
Powell.
I have to admit, actually, I was surprised when you and I first met. I didn't share this with you last time on the podcast, but when I said to you, because I had heard about Trans Am and I had seen articles about you, and it's like, man, he won't want to come on the show. And I was like, hey man, just come on the podcast. You're like, yeah, let's do it.
Yeah.
I was like, what?
Yeah.
So yeah, he literally is that way. So hit him up and
Yeah.
say, have you tried this?
Yeah.
Let's do it.
Yeah. And then I'll tag you in it and we'll do another feature
And we'll do it with that person.
with that person.
We'll record it and
We'll embarrass the hell out of them. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
Definitely. Edie, do you have any things you haven't experienced yet that you want to experience that you want to share?
I think I just want to travel more, like anybody.
Yeah.
I really want to eat pasta in Italy. And
Hell yeah.
Have soup in Vietnam, but
Oh, okay.
those will come with time.
Yeah,
So.
definitely. Pass that Italy.
You need
is
money
just-
and time.
Yeah.
Hopefully, I'll get both.
Nice. You will definitely. Just keep doing what you're doing. Keep your head
Hopefully.
down. Keep your head down. Keep doing it.
Unless I lose my hands.
Yeah, don't do that. You need to.
Oh, don't leave.
Yeah, don't leave. I'm gonna say thank you guys so much for coming on. We just did almost 90 minutes.
Sweet.
It's like,
Yeah, that's a long time.
That's long.
That's a
Oh.
long time.
Oh,
yeah.
nice.
Yeah, that's
Okay.
a long time. If people do want to reach out, obviously we went over it last time, but we'll reiterate it again. If you want to reach out to Trans Am, you can reach them right now. There's no phone,
There's no
but you
phone.
can
No
check
phone.
them out on social at Trans Am Restaurant.
Trans Am Restaurant on Instagram.
Yeah, DM us.
Yeah, DM you.
us, transamrestaurant.com.
There you go.
Or
Send
email.
us-
You can email.
Email, yeah.
Yeah.
Eat at Trans Am.
And then if people want to individually get in touch with you guys, can they do that?
Yeah.
Is that cool?
Yeah.
Instagram, same.
Okay.
Sure.
And then, but do you want to share like your, like, do you have personal
Well, mine
ones?
is, I don't have a personal. I just
Yeah,
use
you-
Trans Am, so
yeah.
it's really weird.
It's very
Yeah.
confusing.
It's
Yeah.
very, very confusing.
But Edie, if someone listening, like another chef in another city, they want to learn more about KitchenAid, they want to learn about your story.
Yeah, I'm at Edie Steens. You can find it on Trans Am and a lot of the posts.
Right.
If you can't find it.
She is
But,
indeed.
Yeah.
I want to say again, thank you guys so much for coming in. It means so much to me that you would make time on your Monday evening. I'm sure this is like the coolest thing you've done ever on a Monday night.
That's great. Thank you so much for having us.
Best Monday in a while. Yeah.
Amazing. No, I want to thank you guys so much for coming on and sharing. It means the absolute world to me that you would hold space for me and the listeners and this podcast. If it wasn't for you guys as guests and you guys as listeners, this podcast would not exist. So thank you guys so much for coming in, and you guys for tuning in as you do week after week. That is Edie. That is Jay Gianmarco. This is Brad. This is the Half a Dozen Hospitality Podcast, and we appreciate you guys.
Thank you.
Yeah. All
Thanks for
you know-
having us.
You know what to do until next time, guys. Be good and do good. That's it. We did it. Well done.
Bam.
Easy.
Don't hit anything.
Don't hit it.